Hello there YouTubers, and greetings from the shed. I don't think I've ever made a video inside my shed before, but I thought this would be just a one-off. Unfortunately the workbench in front of you is a bit untidy at the moment, but that's nothing different actually. Normal chaos is around me. And anyway, what I wanted to show you today is something that's in the shed at present and not at home, and I thought, well, I can just as easily make a video in the shed, you know, like I can at home. So in front of me here is my Ferguson 8-track receiver. I've had this a little while now, but it's never made a appearance on YouTube. Part of the reason is because I actually use this one in the shed to listen to 8 tracks whilst I'm fiddling about with other things and running the railway, which is behind me, which for once, just whilst I'm making this video, is actually switched off. But yes, the usual thing is I come down here and run the railway and listen to music in the background, but today I'm making this video for you. Yeah, bought this off of eBay a few months ago now, and it was in working order, but when I got it, you know, unpacked it and that, all it really wanted was you know, a bit of lubrication, and then it worked better. I think this also had a new belt, which Mr. Huntington, River Huntington on YouTube, managed to supply me with a new one. But other than that, not a lot's been done to this one. It just seems to run well as it is. And I've used it quite a bit now in the shed, and I've been very pleased with it. And whenever I do use it, I tend to run it with these ITT speakers, which I happen to have. They actually come with a ITT music centre, which is lurking under the workbench in the shed at the moment. And but they are very nice speakers. They're two-way, and they're just right for equipment such as this. I think they're capable of about 20-25 watts. But yes, and they're completely unmodified. They are as original, and I believe the actual speakers inside the cabinets are made by Goodman's, and which doesn't surprise me, because Goodman's made a lot of speakers for, you know, people like ITT and Ferguson to use within their cabinets, with their music centres, etc. And these particular speakers, although they may look like wood, they are actually plastic. They even sound like wood when you tap them. But they are very solid cabinets, and actually each speaker weighs quite a bit. I've moved them about several times. They were in my room for a bit, and yeah, they are decent speakers. Some may say, you know, all plastic speakers won't ever sound as good as wooden ones, but as you're about to hear when I stop rabbiting on, they do have a good sound. On top is the Philips N2400, which has featured in a few videos, and at the moment it's not actually connected up to the Ferguson, but my plan is to use that as well with the Ferguson if I should ever want to play cassettes. But behind me, I won't show you at the moment because that's more cluttered up than the actual workbench, is my Ferguson receiver, which I mainly use for cassette and radio. But I'll just go through some of the features on the Ferguson. As you can see on the left is the channel selector, on-off switch, that was something that had to be repaired on this, unfortunately, as the original switch was broken. It did actually still work, but the tab that the silver, actual button slides onto was actually snapped off. So River Huntington managed to find a replacement switch, and we managed to use the original cap, which was good, because it looks absolutely no different to what it did. So, as far as I'm aware, Ferguson didn't really do a lot in the way of 8-track units. They made, well, loads and loads and loads of cassette decks and radios and music centres and that, but they very rarely had an 8-track on them, and I'd actually be interested to know if they made any other equipment that featured the 8-track on it. But from looking on the internet and having a look on eBay, as I often do, this is the only thing I've seen made by Ferguson that incorporates an 8-track deck in it. And the reason I bought it is because I personally think it looks very attractive. It's got a green radio dial there, lights up. It's very 70s, with the brushed silver and black as well. I didn't have the original speakers with this, they didn't come with it, but I believe that the speakers that came with it were actually in fact only one-way speakers. And a bit smaller than the ITTs I'm using, so if I did have the original speakers, they probably wouldn't sound as good as the ones I've got it running with now. But I don't know, I have seen some on eBay with the original speakers and they look nice, and they probably could be modified to be two-way, and if I had the speakers that's probably what I would have done, but I don't have the original speakers, so never mind. Controls from left to right, we've got volume, balance, bass, treble, and we have here the selector switch for medium wave radio, FM, stereo, that's FM stereo, disc and tape. There are two 5-pinned-in sockets on the back of the unit, and you can plug in either a record deck or a cassette deck, or reel-to-reel, anything you like, to the back. And that's what I plan to do with the Philips N2400 there, when I remember to bring the lead down with me. I have got it, but I keep forgetting. And we've also got a switch here for automatic frequency control. I'm not too sure if that even makes a lot of difference, as I don't use the radio here because I haven't got an aerial rigged up to this one as yet. I tend to use a receiver for that, so I don't really need another radio. And we've got a full-size headphone jack, which does work, and the tuning knob. It's quite a basic thing really, but I was quite surprised with how good it actually sounded when I tried it out with these speakers. So I'm going to stop rabbiting on now, and I think we should listen to a couple of tracks from this 8-track.
You get for all it's all about. 'Cause I've been there and I'm glad I'm out of those chains that bind you. That is why I'm here to remind you. What do you get when you fall in love? You only get lies and pain and sorrow. So for at least until tomorrow, don't you know that I will never fall in love again? I'll never fall in love again. Don't tell me what it's all about. 'Cause I've been there and I'm glad I'm out of those chains that bind you. That is why I'm here to remind you. What do you get when you fall in love? You only get lies and pain and sorrow. So for at least until tomorrow, I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. Do you know the way to San Jose? I've been away so long, I may go wrong and lose my way. Do you know the way to San Jose? I'm going back to find some peace of mind in San Jose. There is a great big freeway, put $100 and buy a car. In a week, maybe two, they'll make you a star. Weeks turn into years, how quick they pass. And all the stars that never were are parking cars and pumping gas. You can really breathe in San Jose. They've got a lot of space. There'll be a place where I can stay. I was born and raised in San Jose. I'm going back to find some peace of mind in San Jose. With a dream in your heart, you're never alone. Dreams turn into dust and blow away, and there you are without a friend. You pack your car and ride away. I've got lots of friends in San Jose. Do you know the way to San Jose? Can't wait to get back to San Jose. Do you know the way to San Jose?
And as you can see, the dial only lights up when you're not playing an 8-track. It switches itself off when you put an 8-track in, which is an interesting feature, but I personally think it's a bit of a shame actually, as it looks quite, you know, warm and inviting with that backlight on, but never mind. Yeah, so that's all there is to it really. There wasn't much wrong with it. The casing, pardon me, you can't see much of the casing because the N2400 is on top, but the casing is a little bit bashed about and scratched. I think it has been quite well used in the past, but other than that, it doesn't really affect the machine at all. I suppose really if I was really particular about it, I could re-varnish the casing. The veneer is still all intact, it's not missing any bits, but it's badly faded and scratched and just generally looks 40 odd years old. But at the end of the day, that is what it is. But as it's in the shed at the moment, I'm not going to worry about it, as details such as that don't really matter when we're in the shed. But the N2400 looks quite posh, however, as that was recovered in Fablon a couple of years ago by River, and it still looks nice and smart now. So I hope to use that with this as well, and just use the Ferguson as an amplifier for that. However, the N2400 is an amplifier in itself, but that would mean finding some more speakers to run with it, which I do have actually, but I think we've got enough speakers in this shed. So that's it. I might do another video just of some music playing, so you get more of a taste of what this thing sounds like. You probably won't be able to see on the camera. I didn't even have the bass turned up to the full. It's just past halfway, and as you can tell, it's got quite a bit of poke to it, this amplifier. So and I wouldn't want to push any more than that because it will distort, obviously, distort the speakers. So we won't do that. So anyway, till the next video. See you soon, and thanks for watching.